6.
The Chargers, I think Naji Harris, only player in the league, 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons behind a bad Steeler O-line and a tone-deaf culture offensively. Now he goes to Harbaugh. By the way, Harbaugh's second year with the Niners got to the Super Bowl. So think of what Jim Harbaugh turned around in one off season. The worst defense to statistically a top 2 defense. Now you get another 7-8 draft picks from a coach who just left college football. Naji Harris, Joe Alt, second year as a starting tackle. I think, like Denver, the Chargers make a big jump. I have them at 6.
Yeah. I had this realization when I was doing a Chargers video recently that, because I was banging this drum so much like earlier on in the season, like throughout last season. And, you know, now that the season ended how it did, and, you know, that definitely, the way how they lost against the Texans definitely deflates any type of momentum, positive feelings that you could have about this team, which is understandable. I get that. But I had this realization that so many people legitimately don't think that Herbert is a great quarterback and that Harbaugh's a great coach, and that somehow the Chargers, like, last season failed when it was actually like a massive success, considering the mess that was the Chargers, and considering what Justin Herbert had to work with. You know, just a banged up run game, a half a wide receiver weapon, you know, making his weapon more than he really is actually, in terms of like what you need on an offense. And he was banged up as well. Justin Herbert banged up. Harbaugh having like a heart thing that he had to do or whatever in the middle. I think it was in the middle of against the Kansas City Chiefs game. Like, even all that aside, like, this was always going to be the worst year for the Chargers. Always, with Herbert and Harbaugh. This was year one. And this team was a mess that he had to really work through and really kind of rebuild, rework, instill a culture, instill an identity, grow some young players, incorporate some new picks, some new players, help some existing players unlearn things that are just straight up wrong. Like, it was a mess, an actual true mess. And considering the success that they were able to have was pretty remarkable. And so to think that they're not going to take another step forward and be even better, like, it's actually kind of perfect. It's kind of perfect that Harbaugh is a little quirky, so people just don't seem to respect him as much, right? Like, some of these other coaches look really serious and they scowl, like, you know, like McVay and Shanahan, and it's just like, oh, I gotta take that coach seriously. And people don't take Harbaugh a little bit because Harbaugh says, like, I remember the day I was born or something, right? Like, he's quirky. He's a different guy. So, you know, he doesn't give as much fear when he walks into a room. People aren't like this necessarily, you know, which is fine. You know, what are you gonna do? And people, for some reason, they're like, I saw in the comment section, people like, Herbert's the most coddled player, you know, quarterback ever. You know, he's only made the playoffs a couple times and he's never won, and this and that. And it's like, again, sorry, Chargers fans, but the way how this team has been run with coaching and roster construction and even when you have some good weapons, the injuries to the roster itself, and, you know, like, it's been a mess. It's been a mess. And for you to be great at football and to win consistently, and especially win playoff games, you need a collection of things here. Okay? You need a collection of things. You either need to have a great coach and a decent enough roster, or you need to have an awesome roster to be able to overcome the bad coaching, or you have to have a luck of the draw with an easy division, or an easy playoff matchup, or just a good matchup in general. Not necessarily easy, but just something that's, that team has a bad, defensive pass rush, and, you're great at passing the ball, or run game, whatever it may be. And the Chargers have not had that at all. And quite frankly, in hindsight, what the Texans were able to do, what was able to make them special, was going to be able to expose some of the immaturity. And when I say immaturity, I don't mean like emotional immaturity, just football immaturity in terms of like, not being like an actual experienced veteran, especially in the playoffs. But the Texans were able to take advantage of that and really kind of back the Chargers into a corner and now force Herbert to play football in a way that he doesn't really want to play, quite frankly, especially when you don't even have the weapons. You have a wide receiver who can't even catch the ball. I mean, like, even if you pay him, you can't catch the ball. And it's just, I don't know what you're going to do with that. Then you have like a, 5'10" rookie slot receiver who's, your main weapon. It's no run game. It's a tough way to win football games. But I absolutely love the pickup with Naji Harris and what that has the potential to do, considering the levels of success that he had in Pittsburgh, who I just think offensively, I think they had a little bit better of an understanding of what to do this past year, especially with the new OC. But in terms of what they had in years past, absolutely positively not, especially at the quarterback position, absolutely not. I mean, you're talking about having a lot of games with Kenny Pickett, with oh God, I can't even remember some of these guys' names, honestly, because it's just been such a who's who for a quarterback there. Mason Rudolph, the one name I can't think of, the Chicago Bears draft pick years ago, the quarterback, whatever the heck his name is, I can't think of it right now. It's just been an absolute mess, just an absolute mess. No actual priority in the offense. Just nothing to actually build off of. No momentum building at all. No true threat from a quarterback where you're just kind of like, oh yeah, this quarterback can really pick us apart. We got to be like, no, right? Like that just is not what he's had the ability to play with. And now you're bringing him a great O-line. You're giving him Justin Herbert, Harbaugh, etc. I mean, I fail to see where that won't be successful. And so I really think the Chargers finally shut a lot of haters and doubters up this coming season. As long as they get the football gods luck with health, I think they shut up a lot of people. Because I was so sick of this last season's narrative where the people are like, Justin Herbert, he's out of excuses and this and that, and Harbaugh's here now and this, that. And it's like, this is year one. This team was an absolute bona fide mess. They weren't even close to the playoffs the year before. There was a lot of rebuilding, reworking that needs to happen. And the sheer fact that they even just got to the playoffs, that is the victory. That is the success. So no excuses are available to them now. Like that's just a made up narrative. Maybe now this year, sure, we can maybe start to have that conversation. We got to see how the draft unfolds, injuries, etc. But I hated that forced narrative where it's kind of like, if Justin Herbert doesn't make the AFC Championship game, like, what more does this guy need? And it's like, I don't know, maybe a better team, better coach, like, just actual support and more, and have that support for more than just a couple months. What are we saying here? So, it just is what it is. And so, this is to me when we officially start the San Diego Los Angeles Chargers train, right? Like this is when it begins. 2025, you have another draft with Harbaugh, another offseason with Harbaugh, another year with Herbert and Harbaugh. You're making strategic offseason moves, free agency, draft, culture, etc. The party begins now. And I look forward to referencing this video months from now in October, November. And I say, remember when I said this? Look what I said back. I said this back in March. I look forward to doing that because I'm very confident it will happen. So we'll just have to wait and see. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Los Angeles Chargers taking a step back and the idea that their last season was technically going to be their worst season in this Herbert Harbaugh era? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.